Tamra, hello. Jeanette, good early morning. Hope you're all doing well today. Let's see. Let's give everyone a chance to get in. Happy Friday, everyone, or early Saturday for you, Jeanette, because you're in a completely different, way different. You're in the future. It's always interesting speaking to you because you're in the future. Let's see. Hello, Mary. Welcome. And we are live on YouTube. Hello, everyone on YouTube. Good morning. Heather says, well, yeah, you know, if I'm cutting in and out, it's Seems to not be happening too often. But hello, Tanya. Tea, well, tea is acceptable. Tea is good for now, especially if you're feeling ill. Davina, good morning / afternoon. Hello, Timothy. Welcome. Morning, Tanya. Yeah, FB is acting weird. I think it's the weather because we're supposed to have like crazy torrential rains today. Good morning, Cynthia. Morning, John. Yellow. Okay. Don't know what that means, but sure. Yellow. Oh, yellow, like hello. Got it. Sometimes you just have to say these things out loud. It's like the acronyms in the stories. People go, I didn't even see that. Like paranormal investigators of the arcane. And it's like, oh, it was right there. Oh, why is he? Oh, good morning, Ayrton. I hope you feel much, much better. Yeah, colds are never fun. Good morning, Karen. Oh, the response is purple. Got it. Yellow, purple. Makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, what's the name now? It's going to be Meta because they want to create the metaverse. So FB's changing its name to Meta. So yeah, that's good. Like people are going to call it Meta, sure. I doubt that very much. All right, let me get started because at least there's a nice group of us here. So I'll start with our announcements. So shout outs to the tribe, to the family. All my greeters are in school today, so you're not going to see them unless they're off from school. We're in a different phase of the year. So shout out to them. Shout out to my sister Lee, who's probably, maybe at work, maybe headed home, and to my entire tribe. And let's see, shout out to everyone at YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know whenever we're on. So please do that, and like and share when you get a chance. Follow us on Instagram. So if you haven't seen, we're on Instagram at Bitten Peaches. So go find me on we have all these stuff from the books, these excerpts from the books on Instagram. So go find us, like us there, and follow on Instagram. Dolly's been hard at work in the swag store, so she's creating amazing new things for the swag store. So go to ZAZZLE, M&S, and go look at the swag that she's starting to put up. So go get some swag because there's a whole bunch there. Huh? And there's more coming. I'm informed by the head lead director of design. So go to ZAZZLE and get swag. For Patreon, no new patrons this week, but I just wrote the story for the next installment. I guess the next time there's a story out. It's a really awesome story, and I can't tell you anything about it because you're not a patron. If you're a patron, you'll see it. It's coming out in December. It's a great little story. Oh, this one's really long. This one came out to about 2,000 words, something like that. They're really short, but this one was a lot of fun to write. Let's see. Yeah, I can't tell you anymore. Unless you're a patron, then you can, you'll find out in a few months. It'll be a great little Christmas gift. The newsletter. It didn't happen this month. I'm crazy with Bullet Ballet, but it will happen next month. I already have some emails prepped for it. And follow us on BookBub. So go to BookBub. We have I want to say 300 followers on BookBub, maybe more. But let's get that number up and get more people following us on BookBub, please. That'd be great. So go there and just, follow us on BookBub. The books all get released on BookBub as well. So it's just more social proof, Before BookBub changes the name to Meta or something. And Binge Books, same thing. Join Binge Books, it's free. And follow us there, add reviews for the books that you've read. That'd be awesome. Only the mods have gotten the Patreon story because they're the mods. So, and they do incredible stuff. So they get the Patreon story. But and also, they're part of the room in that sense. So yeah, the stories, you could ask the mods, or you could join Patreon, and that way. Agent says green. Yes, Agent green. No matter, Davina, even if they change it, it's gonna be called Facebook. We're not gonna call it anything but Facebook. If they're trying to change it to get away from the bad press, we're still gonna call it Facebook. So it's not gonna work. So Facebook Metas for VR users. Yeah, John Logson was telling me about the Oculus. I was considering it. I still am, but we'll see. It's supposed to be really, really good, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I hear the whole thing about the USPS is having issues right now. So they need to revamp the leadership of that place and fix it, you know, because that's also contributing to this whole supply chain thing. So we'll see what happens. What did Mary say? Aprons. Oh, aprons. See, yes. If you have any questions about the swag in the M&S store, direct those questions to Dolly, because she's the head designer of all the swag, and she's the one that knows what's going to be released when. Or if you have an idea for swag, she can let you know if it's possible or not. So send all your questions to Dolly regarding any swag that's in the ZAZZLE store, and she'll let you know if it's possible, if it's coming, what not, you know. She's the one that's completely directing all of that. Yeah, you have to join Patreon to get those stories, and it's going to cost you that whopping sum of $1 a month. So if you can make it, go for it. But that's the only way you're going to see those stories, because those stories are locked behind that. So it's for the people who do join Patreon. So I can't, you know, those don't go to the mob. Sorry. I'd love to share them with you, but I can't. Sorry. You can't get anything in the UK because reasons. Why? Is the UK under siege that you guys can't get anything over there? Right, Paige. Yeah, it's the well, what's the parent company name now? Is it still Facebook, or is it something else? Because now they're changing. Is it going to be Meta Facebook? What's the parent company name now? And hello, Darren. Welcome. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, the hoodies are awesome. The hoodies. Have I gotten a hoodie yet from ZAZZLE? I've got to get hoodies from. I've got other stuff, but it's the hoodies and the big blankets. It's just amazing. Those big fleece blankets. So I got the peaches one, and I got the one that's mostly gray and coda. I got to use them for, I want to say, a good day or two before they were absconded with by my Valkyries, and now they live in their room, in their bed. I'm like, hello. And so now I've got to get another one, because at least the peaches one, that could stay with me, you know? Yeah, you just listen. Also, this is speaking of t-shirts, this is a one from Viking Goods. This is the Raven one that I have. This is the homage to the Morrigan. So, yeah. But the hoodies I hear are really, really good. I just got to make sure that they have them in my size. That's the only thing, because I got to be able to be comfy in the hoodie. So
I don't think they have your size.
They probably don't have my size.
5XL.
It's not 5XL.
10.
3XL. Jeez. 3XL. If the stream is cutting in and out, it's FB's fault. So
You're on Wi-Fi?
yeah, I think so. I hope so. I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah. I want to check, because they might cut it off. It's cutting in and out, but I have to be, because else it would be like completely ugh. FB was a company name, but now they've got Insta, and WhatsApp I think is also theirs. So WhatsApp is theirs too. So they're changing it to be Meta. So, yeah. Davina, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it's weird. It's every size isn't always true. Like 3X in one place is like a 1X in another place, and so forth and so on, but nothing too major. All right, so what do you guys, let's discuss. I have a bunch of things to get to, but let's discuss Bullet Ballet. And if you haven't read the snippet, or you don't read the snippet, I'm sorry, you should. But if you haven't read the snippet, how's it sounding? Is it sounding noir enough? or is it not noir enough? I don't want to get into like semi-noir. I want to kind of hit this interesting note of noir. So, what are your thoughts? Give me some feedback on the Bullet Ballet. Yeah, Bullet Noir. We should call it Bullet Noir, Chris. Urban Fantasy Bullet Noir. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sepia is very close to that kind of feel, that noir feel, for sure. Yeah, I've realized as I've undertaken this that writing noir is not as easy as it sounds. I thought it's more manageable. It's not. It's a tough note to hit. I don't know how these fantastic Hammett and Chandler and these guys did that so well. They were masters of the craft. Yeah, it's amazing. It's noir. I got it, Jeanette. It's noir, not noir. I got it. But bullet noir, maybe we should create a new genre and just call it bullet noir. But it is very much, like when I write it, I'm thinking John Wick, Casablanca, because I kind of want to have both worlds, you know? And John Wick is very noir. It's, you know, in the general sense of what the story is, it's a very noir story. It's noir, yeah. Jasmine, you love the covers, but you're not a snippet reader. You should really look just read the first sentence. It's not going to kill you. Just read the first sentence. You'll be fine. Yes, Mary, gray is very noir. Interesting that gray is noir. That's a good one. But it's very much in the world of gray, just a little darker. And wait till you guys meet Bug. Bug is so awesome. It's like I'm gonna say she's a great character, Bug. Yeah, I can't take credit for any of the covers. I kind of nudge the designers in a direction, and I kind of give them what I want in terms of like, these are the elements that should be on the cover. Then they run with it and they create the amazing covers that you see. With the exception of the Gray and Coda covers, which are the Night Warden covers, which are done by the fantastic Gene Malika, all the other covers are Deranged Doctor design, and they are incredible. Yeah, Bug is ridiculously awesome. Like if you've, I don't want to spoil it for you, but Bug is a fantastic character. Yeah, coming from a graphic design background, Chris, exactly. Give them an idea, tell them this is kind of what I want. Give them loose parameters and say, run with it, go for it. And then they create, I don't micromanage them. They just create these amazing covers. I've never had to micromanage them. What I have done with them is change fonts sometimes. Like, can you add a different font? Bangers and Mash, the original cover for Bangers and Mash, you might remember them were different. It looked different. The font was different. And I said, I need something a little bit more banger and mashy, I guess. I needed something a little bit more banger and mashy. So that's the only thing. I changed that. I asked them to change that, but I didn't tell them which one to change it to. They gave me several versions. And they changed one of the character models for Bangers and Mash, and it looks fantastic. They nailed Monty and Strong from Two Yards and Butterflies, from the first one. And they've only gotten better over time. It's insane how good the Monty and Strong covers have always looked, like from the beginning. And every cover they've done, like I really like the Ursula covers. And I mean, some of their covers are just like amazing. Like the Kali cover that they did, I think that's one of their best covers. I turned it into like a mouse pad, that one. It's that good. And a wallpaper on my computer. So the only thing is that book doesn't come out for like so long, you won't see it. But I'll put it up in the, I know I've put it up before, but it's so good, I'll put it up again. Elizabeth says she loves and hates snippets. Love the sneak peek, and they help me buy books, but then I have to wait, and I don't wait well. Yes, that's called the reader's dilemma, Elizabeth. Davina says the only solution is to give us some more snippets with Bug, then we can see the awesomeness. Jeez. You know what? I might release a Bug snippet today, because she's just so much fun. I might do that today. Waiting is the worst. I have a bunch of authors that I'm waiting for. I have books by Alex Veris That story that I'm waiting for by Benedict Jacta. I'm waiting for a few authors that I'm like, I have to wait months and months and months. But going back to when I was much younger, it used to be years. We used to have to wait a year. Hello, Linda. How are you? Welcome. Yeah, I already have that ink, Davina, of the dragonfly. I have the ink of the dragonfly. So yes. So I might give a bug snippet only because she's so much fun. So yes. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, if you want to look at some amazing covers, both GeneMalika.com or GMstudios.com or GeneMalika.com or DerangedDoctorDesign.com, and just go look at their portfolio, and you'll just look at amazing covers. You can spend all day just looking at their covers, and they have a bunch of the Monty and Strong covers there. But it's true. When I was younger, we used to have to wait years. Like, you would get a book by an author 1 year, and then you have to wait an entire year for the next book. You're like, oh, I can't. I mean, yes, we read a bunch of authors, but still. I haven't read the Gobble Down stories. But, see, and this is why a lot of people wait for a series to be done before they get, like, a bunch of books page, because that's... Who else is what else? The Patrick Rothfuss saga, which is like The Name of the King. That's waiting, I don't know how many years now. And same thing with George R.R. Martin. I think it's the Winds of something. What is it? Oh, there you go. Yeah, The Winds of Winter. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long it's been in between those, but I know it's been a long time. So it's part of the reader's dilemma, waiting. I try not to extend the waits too long between stories, but even look, Sepia, if you were following Sepia, you've waited 4 to 5 years. So for the end of that pentology, you know. Let's see. I love the dragonfly. One of these days I'm going to. Oh, well, Karen, what Davina's talking about is the ink, not the T-shirt. So she's talking about actually getting a tattoo of it. It's an awesome tattoo. I have it here. So, yeah. 8 years now with no... Wow, 8 years is a long time. I don't think I want to wait that long. I wouldn't want to have to make anyone wait for that long as an... But even Sepia, I was always kind of antsy to finish Sepia, even when I was writing Monty and Strong, because I understand being a reader and having to wait for a story that's not finished. So, yeah. Not everyone wants to get ink. Some people just want to have one. Some people want to have none. So not everyone likes to get ink. Doesn't hurt too much. I think the first one is the one that hurts the most because you don't know what to expect. But after that, very few people can remain with just one. Like my sister started with one and she went way off the deep end. So for many people, one is enough. And for many people, one is like, I'm just getting started. So it all depends on your pain tolerance and what kind of ink you like. You know, I know people who have sleeves. My sister actually has sleeves and they look amazing. I don't think I'd go that far, but I have quite a few too. So, you know. Let's see, Mary, if we go down the list, let's see, you got Sheepdog, you got Ava James, Chronicles of the Modern Mystics, new tongue today. The Assassin's Apprentice, don't forget Blackjacks, Blur, John Kane stories. Let's see what else have we got. There's so many series. Damned stories. Let's see, there's some that you haven't even heard of. The Broken Man stories hasn't even started yet. Let's see, the Trio, you haven't even heard that one. It's in the works, it's in the wings. Let's see, there's a few. Oh, you've got the time travel, the designers, the time travel one. There's so many. So Mary Beth, there's so many that need to be written. I don't know which is that. Stephen Brust is doing The Long Wait with the Vlad I've never heard of this, but it sounds interesting. Let's see, pain. Oh yeah, so the pain is relative. Tattoos over bony areas hurt the most. Yeah, I can tell you for a fact I have a big tattoo that goes all from here all the way down to here. All it's not fun when they're that big. This one took 4 sittings of 4 hours each, 4 times, so 16 hours. After the first one, you're like, yeah, whatever. It's you get over the pain. Yeah, I haven't read Vlad Taltos' Brossia. What is the story based on? Karen, you probably have a high pain tolerance. So Vlad Taltos the name Vlad makes me think of vampires. So what is it about? Does anyone know? Can you tell me what Vlad Taltos is about? Ah, assassins. Sounds interesting. Is this an Australian author or is he based elsewhere? Davina, you got one on your stomach? Wow. That's yeah. That's a really delicate area that you're gonna feel it for sure. The one that I hear that hurts the most, the ink that I hear that hurts the most is the one on the sides of the body, the ribs. I never got anything there, but I hear that one hurts the most. My sister has flowers on the sides, and she said that really hurt. And my sister has an insane pain tolerance. So let's see, one of mine is dot work, that hurt, yeah. Yeah, it just feels like you're getting stung constantly, yes. All right, so I'll have to look into Vlad Taltos. See, how many books are in the series? Does anyone know? Do I have to look this up? Dolly can look up Vlad Taltos. Chris, I would imagine the back of your hand would hurt because of, it's a really sensitive area. My wrists didn't hurt. The bottom of my wrist, like I got some here, and those didn't hurt. I got characters here. Those didn't hurt at all. But yeah, I would imagine this area would be sensitive. The Brust Jerrig. Okay, I'll have to check it out for sure. 15 books. Wow, that's a lot of books. And 18 planned. Nice. It's a nice long series. Dolly has just informed us. Hold on, this just in. 15 novels in the series, total of 19 planned. The planned novels will be named after the remaining Dragarian great houses. Okay. And then the final contract. Sounds interesting. All right, Jasmine, thank you for visiting. Have a safe Halloween. Thank you for being with us, even on YouTube. Bye, Jasmine. Sounds very cool. I'll have to check these out. Especially with like 15 hours already in. That's a lot to get through. All right, let me continue our updates. So we just finished approving the audiobook for Requiem, the audiobook, I guess the request, the approval, the final approval. So we just approved it. So I think it's going to be short. I think it's going to be really quick, but Dolly reminds me that it takes about 30 days, I think. So I'm going to go by what Dolly says. And so we're looking at the end of November because ACX is slow and Dolly's usually right about these things anyway. So I'm going to go by what she says, and we're planning to have Requiem, so it's already been done, it's already been produced, we've approved it, and now we're just waiting for ACX to say, go for it, and then it'll be out. Bullet Ballet is in the process, so I figure about another week and a half until it hits the art. It's a novella, but I'm aiming for my novellas to be around 30K, not 10, 20K, 30K. So it's going to be around there. So about another week or so I'm looking at, and then moving to the next project. The new story for Patreon. Oh, so the new story for Patreon is called Peanut, and that's all I can tell you about it. Have fun. Join Patreon, and you'll find out about it in, what is it, 2 months? But if you don't join Patreon, you won't find out about it at all. Hello, Michelle. Yeah, Davina, I say 30K. But see, interestingly, Bullet Ballet is not feral. It's actually very, very, I think it's because it's the way the story is, but it's not running away with itself. It's a very methodical, kind of calm story. So it's not out of control like most of my stories are, feral wild animals. Bullet Ballet is very much like, I think it's because it's the noir story. It's very like, okay, we can do this. It's 30K. Okay, we got it. 30K. Awesome. Yes, Renee, there's going to be more in that series. Yes. Yeah. It hasn't gone feral. Okay, I'm going to add the caveat. It hasn't gone feral yet. How's that? So, but for now, it's kind of conforming to, I'm looking at 30K and trying to keep it within 30, maybe 35 at the outside, but it looks like 30K is good. So yeah, so that's coming along really well. Oh, the Rule of the Council, Michigo story. We already seen it. It's in paperback. So this one and the Knack, the Nixia, are the only short stories that I know that we have in paperback, right? These are the only ones. This one, the Rule of the Council one, and the Knack, the Nixia White ones are the only short stories. They're not very short, as you can see. This one clocks in at, all three stories clocks in, I'll tell you right now. I can't see the page numbers. Didn't I do page numbers? It's like 80,000 words. So they're not very short, but it's in paperback. Oh, it's like 400 and something pages. It's beastly for a book. Put it that way. It's not a tome, but it's big. So yeah, Tamra, I know, because Bug is the one. If the story's gonna run away, it's gonna be because of Bug for sure. Yeah, I don't know about I was watching something with timelines. I forget what it was, but yeah, I don't know about extra timelines. If I need timelines, I need like 5 more timelines and let them all converge. No, I'm gonna, Davina, I retract everything I said. It's 30K. That's what I meant. That's what I said. That's what I meant. 30K. All right, so Bangers and Mash is doing really. Bangers and Mash is just surprising the heck out of me. So, but don't forget that if you haven't left a review, please leave your review for Bangers and Mash because it helps the book. So, it just helps the social proof of the book. So go leave a review for Bangers and Mash if you haven't already. So after that, we've got Sepia and Stormblood. Those are the next 2 projects that are coming up after Bullet Ballet. So buckle up and hold on tight because those are the next 2 that are going to get released. So what is Patreon? Renee's asking, what is Patreon and why do I want it? Which is the time travel series, Chris? Renee, Dolly will answer you because she's also the head Patreon coordinator. So she wears all the important hats. Well, when you get to them, I know you've been a little bit ill, Jeanette. So when you get to them, please do. There's no rush. Just whenever you get to them, guys. I like to nudge and remind until it gets to like about 100 reviews, and then after that I kind of leave you guys alone. I don't nudge after 100. So I think it's at 70. How many reviews does Bangers and Mash have?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah?
Because of Robert. He's awesome.
Because Dolly says that Bangers and Mash has a lot of reviews because of Robert, because he's awesome. So there you go. Patreon is a way to support your artists, your favorite artists. It's not just writers, it's all kinds of people who create things. And it's a way to support them even further.
116.
Oh, 116. So look, Bangers and Mash already has 116 reviews. So leave your review when you're ready, when you can. It'd be awesome. I'm amazed that Bangers and Mash, honestly, guys, I'm amazed Bangers and Mash took a first place spot because it's a completely new book. Even though it's in a familiar world with some familiar characters, it's completely new. So I was amazed. Craig El Dragon, welcome. Right, Jeanette, it's a platform to support your favorite creatives. There you go. And YouTube channels use a Patreon. Yeah, that's right. I see it all the time. YouTube channels say, support me on Patreon. So if you're on YouTube, support us on Patreon. That'd be awesome. Right, you get exclusive content, which is what I do. So there are only going to be stories that are only available to the patrons. I always say Patreons. To the patrons on Patreon. Right, yeah, only that you can only find because you're a patron. So it goes back to the old days when patrons, like Michelangelo had patrons and, you know, artists had patrons. I think it's based on that. So there you go. That's what Patreon is, Renee. All creators, right, Chris? All creators. So it's official. My status for 20 Books to Vegas is that I'm skipping this year. And, you know, I'm somewhat bummed about it because I wanted to see a lot of the authors that are there. Welcome, Wendy. Good morning. No, you're here. That's what matters. I'm a little bit bummed about it because I wanted to go to Vegas and see a lot of author friends, but I'm also like, I don't want to run the risk of catching anything that I don't want to catch, if you know what I mean. So it's like, on one side, I'm like, oh, I wanted to go see all these guys. On the other side, it's like, I don't want to go to Vegas and, you know, end up regretting it. So I'm going to err on the side of caution this year and wait until next year. And I really did want to see, like, I want to go see John and Ben. I think it's going to be there. Lorelai, John's wife, is going to be there. It's the first time. Larry and Tammy, you know, they live out there. So we're going to go into the desert, all of us, which would have been fun. But and then we're going to do some PPD stuff, I think, again this year, like get a lot of the PPD readers together, have a dinner type thing. But again, it's a matter of being safe and healthy. And like some of you, I got it last year or 2 years ago at this point. When was it? March, 2 years ago? And it wasn't pleasant. It was 3 weeks of like, whoa. So I'm not looking to revisit that at all. Yeah. Elizabeth wants to know, is it possible to autograph items for around Christmas time?
Sure, we can do that.
Oh, you got to answer her. Elizabeth, Dolly's going to answer you in a moment, yes. Yeah, Jeanette, caution is a good thing with COVID. So, yeah. Welcome, Sarah. Nice. As long as you're here, that's what's important. Same thing, Paige. I really wanted to also, but I also don't want to take that chance. One of the things that I read, and this is not to disparage 20 books, it's like they're requiring masks, yes, but I don't know if they're requiring everyone to be vaccinated, and that's a big red flag to me. So if I were really going, I'd really make sure that were the case. But from what I understand, masks are mandatory, vaccinations may not be. So for me, that's kind of a big red flag. So I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to wait maybe next year. We'll see how everything is with this pandemic next year. Yeah, Davina, well, you're also somewhat immunocompromised, right? So it's not good. You don't want to get anything that could be worse, you know? Same thing with the airport and the plane, right, Paige? Yeah, because now you're in this box or this tube, and going from New York to Vegas is a good, 3 hours? Something like that, 3 hours? So I'm sitting in an enclosed space for 3 hours with people who may or may not be vaccinated, and it's too many variables that I don't want to take a chance with, you know? Karen, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great Halloween, and thank you so much for being here and joining us for our coffee clutch. It's awesome. Oh, so I recently saw, if you haven't, I know I'm late, but I recently saw Django. Wow. I mean, I know Quentin Tarantino's pretty amazing, but that movie is like, whoa. Like, it's not for the kids. Kids can't watch it. But it's like pretty amazing the way it was written. Yeah. And directed. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's something you can watch. Django Unchained. You have Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Christoph Waltz, which he steals the movie, Christoph. Yeah, I was leery of watching it for years, Chris, because I haven't watched it. I didn't watch it when it came out. But so anytime Jamie Foxx is in a scene, he steals it. But then Christoph Waltz steals the scenes from Jamie Foxx, and then Leonardo DiCaprio steals the scenes from them, so they're constantly out acting each other. It's amazing. Yes, Craig, it's been doing that the whole stream. It's been stopping and starting. But I think it's the weather that's acting up and screwing with our feed today. When it came out, things were really hot in the world, society. But if you can handle the subject matter, like if you can objectively deal with the subject matter of slavery and the history of this country with it, then you can watch that movie and you can appreciate it. You can appreciate what Quentin Tarantino did with the topic of race. But if you can't deal with that, you can't watch that movie. It will trigger you. Yeah. Craig, I think it is the metaverse problems. Yes. What it is that this feed is now being played on several different timelines at once. It's so meta. And so it's why it's getting glitchy. Getting played in so many different timelines all at the same time. But I seriously recommend Django if you can deal with the actual history of this country. Because this country has a really dark history that's kind of glossed over. We're not going to get into it. But it's not for the faint of heart, as Paige says. Not for the faint of heart. It touches on so many things. But it's stuff that really happened, that is part of this country, that's just not taught. And so it should be required watching for at least college-age kids. I don't even know if high school-age kids could take it. Not because it's graphically violent, but because it's racially triggering. Yeah. Hello, Rebecca, and welcome. Let's see if Davina's watching this. Oh, yes, because you are the true Loki. Right. And Dolly put up something that was great. She put up this meme where, not a lucky day for you, Loki day for you, where it's like, oh, that's really touching. And then, like, yeah. Anyway, and so, yeah. We are all variants, sure. Yeah, when The Color Purple came out, Chris, that was a big, big deal, too. That was huge. And again, Danny Glover, Whoopi Goldberg, the acting in that movie was insane. It was awesome, but it was another triggering film. I think the only movie that can compare to that is probably either the series of Roots, which I watched when I was young. It was a whole 12-week series, or Color Purple or Django. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. So, Jeanette, it depends on what the content is. I don't know what makes you faint of heart, but there are some scenes in Django that you're like, oh wow, yeah, they make you pause. They make you pause not because of what's occurring in the scene, but because this is based in reality. Like these things, really happened, and that's what makes it really riveting. It makes you really pause and take stock of where we are as a country, because for all our advances, the mindset hasn't progressed that much, unfortunately, So, but if you haven't watched it and you can handle it, you should watch it, because it will open your eyes to a lot of things. Yeah. And yeah, you get both. Oh, don't forget Samuel Jackson's in there. He's incredible as well. I almost forgot about Samuel Jackson because his role is very small, but his role is really pivotal. Yeah, exactly, Chris. You have to broaden and teach your children well. Like, I would want my kids to watch Django only because these things really happened, but they're still too young. I think it would really traumatize them. So it's like they're still too young. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, the butler. I wanted, without spoiling it, I just want to say I wanted to strangle him, boy. Right, Davina. Yeah. Hello, Brandy. Welcome. The events of Django were real. These things really happened. I think it was much worse than what happened. But yeah. And that's when you watch that movie, you go, damn, yeah, we still have such a long way to go. Yeah, it's not age appropriate for little kids at all. It's more, like I said, there should be a class in college called Django Unchained. There really should be. Yeah, but Samuel Jackson, the last thing I saw him in that he was awesome was the Hitman's Bodyguard. We have the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife to watch. Yeah, we have the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife to watch. So that's just me and Dolly watching. That's because it's MF every 3 seconds with Samuel Jackson and Salma Hayek. So, yeah. Audrey, that's a very smart and wise thing to do. Yeah. You have to be very selective about what you let them watch. Because, and especially with the news, my kids don't really watch the news. I educate them and I tell them and I try to be very objective about it. But if you watch too much news, no. All right, let's get to the questions because we have questions. Answer the question. All right. And it's already we've got I want to say 30 minutes less. All right, here we go. Audrey has questions. Awesome. Okay, here we go. This is one for, who was the best influence on my life? And you can't say Dolly. I'm going to say Dolly, no. Okay, my life has been so multifaceted that I've had many big influences. So I can't limit it to one person. My life has run the gamut of so many things that it hasn't just been one person. Presently, for the last 15 years, I want to say 16, Dolly has been an enormous influence on my life, and the best. But prior to meeting her and having her in my life,
Correct answer, by the way.
oh, that's the correct answer. Prior to meeting her, there were a lot of people who shaped who I became and who I am today. Like my mom was one of my biggest influencers. A lot of my friends growing up who made sure I didn't go on the wrong paths were also huge influences. So I had a lot of very good influences in my life. I had a lot of bad ones too, but fortunately those didn't stick too long. Not to say I was an angel, I was very far from it, but I learned really quick that some things you just don't want to pursue, you know? But even with the bad influences helped me to become who I am today. So it's a combination of everything. All right, Dolly, what is your favorite memory from high school? Let's go.
There are too many.
Too many, she says.
But I think it was more of a general feeling of being always supported by my parents. You know, whenever there was anything to do, to get done, somewhere to go, some studies to get done, they were always there. So I think most of my memories have to do with that, and my friends.
Okay, there you go. Rebecca asks, this is a quick intermission question. Will you ever explain Simon and Chi's relationship? Yes and no. Yes, but no. Hope that answers that question. As Chris says, there's no light without dark. Yeah, even the brightest light casts the darkest shadow, as they say. Brandy says, I tend to be a bad influence. Sometimes we all do. Okay, Audrey, back to Audrey's questions, the third one. Do you ever dream storylines? Yes, Monty Strong came to me completely in a dream. While I was in the middle of Sepia, the series on book 3, I had a dream of the 2,000 butterflies. Pretty much fully formed. And it happened to me recently with the Patreon story. So with Peanut, the Patreon story, my youngest Valkyrie takes ballet. And so I'm sitting there waiting for her about an hour and a half, I think is the class. In that hour, I was able to write the entire Peanut story on my phone because it just came to me fully formed, out of the blue. If I had to tell you where it came from, I couldn't. So I don't know where the stories come from. But yes, the Monty Strong story came to me. I woke up one day and I had the entire first chapter of Monty Strong and how I was going to proceed while I was writing Sepia Blue. So what I tell authors is to write, or you'll get your best ideas when you're writing. It's crazy because most people want to wait for the ideas to come, but as you're working on one thing, you'll get ideas for many other things. Yeah, the key is to find a way to get all those ideas down so that you don't lose them, because if not, you will lose them. And my theory is that if you don't take it and run with it, the idea travels and someone else takes it and runs with it. And you'll hear a lot of authors go, after they see a book, I had that same exact idea, but you didn't do anything with it. So the idea kind of just goes and finds someone who's receptive, and they write it, you know? That's just my idea. That's my theory of story ideas. All right, Chris Chrisman Dos. Who's your favorite noir actor? I'm gonna say Bogey because he's my favorite. There were so many, but I'm gonna have to say Bogey is my favorite noir actor because he managed just to get it so right. You know, the attitude, the voice, the acting, the gestures, even the looks. He really had a way about him that he didn't even have to say anything. Like if you ever watch Casablanca again, you can see that many of the scenes where he's not even speaking, there's so much being said, you know? So, yeah, I would have to say Bogey. My favorite noir movie, Casablanca, if I'm going to say noir. There's so many, but I'm going to go with Casablanca because it's my favorite in that. Noir femme fatale, ooh, yeah, Bacall, I would have to say. She was so great opposite Bogey. So definitely Bacall. There are a few that are tied with Lauren, but yeah, definitely Bacall. Because she was the total package for a femme fatale. She was smart. She knew how to play the game. Like the characters that she had, I mean, it was amazing. So yeah, definitely Bacall. All right, thank you for the questions, Audrey and Chris Mendoza. Next group of questions for Stacy, who I don't think she's here. Edgar G. Robinson was good too. He was amazing. Yeah, Peter Lorre also. So, Stacy has some questions, all for Dolly and Orlando. What is your favorite horror movie book? Not gore movie book, but intelligently written movie book that might get you to jump or think. My favorite horror, which we're currently living through, was the one that I read. The first one that I read that impacted me was The Stand by Stephen King. And that book stayed with me, and I read it twice. I read it once, and I read it again, and it was 1,000 pages long. And I think I was in junior high school or early high school, and it was about a plague that killed almost everyone in the world, and then what happened. And so here we are, living in The Stand now. So that's I don't know what Dolly's favorite. I don't know if she really likes horror or horror movies.
I don't watch horror movies. If there's a movie that is trending, I'll go and read the story on Wikipedia, and I can see the movie play out in my head. And that's sometimes, my imagination's a lot, so that's like pretty much watching the movie, and I'd rather not watch horror movies.
Yeah, there you go. So Dolly does not have any favorite horror movies, Stacy. Next question from Stacy. How many and what languages do you speak? I'll let Dolly go first because she speaks like 18 languages.
So do you. I speak 4 fluently: French, English, Creole, and Urdu. I have an intermediate fluency in Russian and basic in Spanish.
I speak English, Spanish, Italian. I have some understanding of French, so most of the Romance languages, some Portuguese, rudimentary Japanese, some Korean. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. So that's pretty much all. So we have a lot of languages that we got to pass on to the little ones. All right, Cynthia. Thank you, Stacy, for those questions. Cynthia asks, do you remember the last Halloween costume you wore as a kid? No, I never wore Halloween costumes. I was one of the kids that was going around terrorizing the neighborhood, throwing rotten eggs at people. Well, mostly my friends or frenemies. And TPing houses, shaving cream. Yeah, I didn't really wear Halloween costumes. Not to my recollection, no. It was basically all black. It was a ninja, if you want to call it that. Dolly, same question.
What?
Do you remember the last Halloween costume you wore as a kid?
We didn't celebrate Halloween.
She didn't celebrate Halloween when she grew up. They didn't have Halloween. Halloween is what I want to say, it's a European celebration that came to the States with the Puritans. So, based in Samhain. I hope I said that right. Okay. And what are the Valkyries going as this year? What are the Valkyries going as this year?
Little ones as the witch. The other two don't really care for it.
Right. So the warrior and the older Valkyrie are kind of outgrown of it. They're kind of like eh. But the youngest one is a witch, which I approve. She already has her costume.
It's all about the candy.
But it really is all about the candy. It's always all about the candy. Let's see if there are any other questions. I don't think there are any other questions. Thank you so much for the questions. I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are so awesome. All right, let's go back. We got like, I want to say 10, 15 minutes. So if you have questions that aren't those, please ask them now. Let's see. Yeah, Dolly's it's a polyglot. She's got a lot of languages in her head, which is awesome. The stand was awesome, yes, and the talisman was also awesome. Very underrated. I really like the talisman. Yeah. I remember it very well, actually. Yeah. Halloween I don't want to say Halloween is an American thing. Maybe now in certain circles it's an American thing, but it does have its base in Europe. It came over with the settlers, Halloween. So let's see. I did not read Black House Book 2. No. So I have to look at that. I grew up here's the thing with me and horror. The only movie that scared me, and I must have been 10, 11, I don't remember too well, was Phantasm with this silver orb that would go around and spike into people's heads, and then a drill would come out and drill people's foreheads. And after I watched that movie, I couldn't sleep for like a week. But then after that movie, I stopped being scared of horror movies. It's like it scared all the fear out of me from horror movies. And then after that, horror movies lost their appeal, because the whole point of watching horror movies is to get scared. And I never got scared after that. So it's like, I don't want to watch horror movies. They don't really do anything for me. And, I knew the blood wasn't real. I knew the whole scene wasn't real. So after a while, it lost its suspension of disbelief. And I was like, I can live without it. Horror books, like The Stand, is like Dolly said, my imagination is much more vivid than a movie. So when I read The Stand was like, whoa, that book stayed with me till this day. It has stayed with me. That book was amazing. Dia de los Muertos is not Halloween though, Wendy. That's the thing. Dia de los Muertos is a South American Mexican celebration of the Day of the Dead, where you venerate your ancestors who have died. So, yeah, it's not the same. Halloween Dia de los Muertos started here in this side of the world, and Halloween started in the European side, in Europe, in that part of the world. Okay, let's see. I know I have some questions that I might have missed. Okay, so here we go. A comment for your unintended plug a few weeks ago. I ordered a skull shaver. I've got it right here. My skull shaver. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying it, John. It's amazing. 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes. It's like, shoom, done. So it's fantastic. Yeah. It's okay, Jeanette. Just type as best as you can. Chris says, I grew up on Universal movie monsters. Right, and after a while, you saw that they were cheesy monsters. They weren't very scary. So you outgrow the fear of that soon. Brandy says, oh, what about theology and philosophy? I asked if you like to sneak into stories. The theology, I try not to sneak in any overt theology, because everyone's belief is their own. But philosophy, definitely. So my philosophy is based in martial arts and Buddhist theologies and things like that. And so they are definitely sprinkled in the stories, whether it's the character or the situations, but they're in there for sure. Rebecca says, my new parting wish for friends is, may all your favorite authors be prolific. Yeah, that's a great wish. Chris wants to know, do I put in words of wisdom? I try to. I try to make the story wise, if you want to say that way. But I also try to put in characters, like the mentor characters, who's like Master Yacht would be the Yoda of the Monty Strong world, And in Bullet Ballet, there's this one person called Walter Corman, who will be the mentor of the stories. So, and he has wisdom. And what I'm doing differently for Bullet Ballet is that every chapter starts with a quote from one of Corman's books, is Corman on Combat. And it's either funny or some profound piece of wisdom that he learned through experience on combat for gatekeepers. And so I try to drop the wisdom that way too. Audrey says horror movies don't scare me. I just don't want to watch slasher movies. Suspense movies are good, but again, I don't. Yeah, for me, I don't know. I'm the problem with, I think, when you become a writer or an author is that I'm not immersed in the story as much. I'm more analyzing it. This is why you never want to watch a movie with an author or writer, because when you watch a movie with an author or writer, we're busy dissecting the movie or the writing or the directing or the scene or something. So it doesn't really, it's not the same. For me, personally, it's not the same. I can watch a movie and I can appreciate it, but while I'm watching it, I'm dissecting it, that scene could have been written better or it could have been tighter. So it's not always fun to watch a movie with authors or creatives in general. Sometimes I'll watch a movie and with Dolly and I'll be like, that set could have looked better, or they could have designed that better, or that doesn't really match with that. It's like that. It's just, John, the philosophy of Ziller. Yes, that's exactly the philosophy that we do, for sure. Wisdom, because everyone likes to go fast. Sometimes you need to slow down. Yeah, I think that's the best way to teach, Chris. As Bruce Lee says, I can't show you the way. I can only point you in the direction of it. So it's like that. Wendy wants to know, how is Bullet Ballet shaping up? Doorstop size. No, see, Rule of the Council took 3 short stories to get almost the doorstop size. Bullet Ballet is going to be about 30K. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm sticking to. That's it. 4 minutes laws of the battlefield. Right. Never share a foxhole with someone braver than you. Right. That's good policy. Usually ends up badly for you. Oh, I remember Night of the Living Dead, Linda. I watched it. It's black and white. It wasn't scary, but when I watched it, it really gave me an appreciation for the whole the lumbering zombie genre. Then I watched the one with Brad Pitt, World War Z, and that one, it didn't scare me, but it gave me pause when I saw those zombies had started going to the gym and started learning how to run. And I was like, whoa! And so all the zombies in World War Z, they're not these lumbering things that just shuffle down the street and, you can have your coffee. Oh, look, there's a zombie down the street. I should run now. No, these are zombies that put on sneakers and they're coming after you. And that was a nice difference on zombies. I never watched The Walking Dead, so I don't know. So, yeah. Have I seen the new Dune? No, and from what I understand, this Dune is done well. It's only part 1. There's a part 2 that's already being greenlit. So hopefully it'll be good. Dune has always been a very hard story to do well in film adaptation because it's just so big. It's just a big movie, big production, big story. It runs through this whole family. It's hard. So I hope they do it well. We'll see. They got good actors. We'll see. The no magic. Brandy says he's like no magic bullet theory or the gun that shoots only 6. Yeah, true. Yeah, John, same thing. And for me, it started early on. When I really started looking at movies, and I've watched a lot of movies in my life. After a while, it's not that you become jaded or cynical. So you start seeing tropes, and so you want to start seeing something that's done well. Oh wow, Wendy, I remember The Birds. I wasn't traumatized, but I didn't look at Birds the same after that Hitchcock movie, because at some point after a while you start thinking they're going to chase you down and hunt you and try to attack you. Yeah, Craig, that World War Z freaked me out for a few days. It wasn't scary, but it really threw me when the first time I saw them running, and I was like, whoa, Alfred Hitchcock was a master of his craft in terms of suspense, and remember that he didn't have CGI to work with the same way directors do now. So he really was a master of suspense, All the Facebook parts of the movie. Yes, Holly. Yes, we got now 5 minutes. No, it's not overly fast paced, but it's really well done. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we got about 5 minutes. If you have questions, this is the time to ask. Bye, Tamra. It was so great having you here. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Halloween if you celebrate it. And thank you for being here today. It's awesome. Thank you for making it. The Birds, yes. I never saw Rear Window or 39 Steps. I saw Vertigo. I saw a few Hitchcock movies. I wasn't that big of a Hitchcock fan, but The Birds I saw, and I saw Vertigo, and there were a few others that I saw. Every Hitchcock movie that I saw was amazing. No, I didn't see the 10. No, if that's a movie. How do I feel about other writers studying my work for their writing? Flattered, I guess. I don't think my writing needs to be studied. My opinion on that is that every writer starts out sounding like someone else until they find their voice. And so that's how every writer starts. We start out imitating the writers that we admire the most, and then after a while, our own voice starts coming out. And so that's what happens, Elizabeth. That's part of the process. So you start writing these things, you start writing fan fiction, you start writing, oh, look, this writer did it this way, this writer did it that way. But eventually, you write your own stories. Oh, Dex and the 10. What about them, Rebecca? Yeah, Craig. I'm waiting for Rebecca to answer what she means about Dex and the 10. I must have missed something, Rebecca. The Outer Limits, when they went horror episodes, were always inspiring. Yeah, same thing with Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was really an amazing story and so ahead of its time. And when they went dark, it was really dark and scary and made you think. But I grew up watching them, so it wasn't like it was something different for me as I grew older. Oh, new book. The Clandestine Adventures of the 10. It's not Dex and the 10. The 10 is independent of Dex, and their stories are going to be novellas, so next year for the 10. But yes, there will be quite a few of those. I already have a few covers already for them. Yo, that was with Burgess Meredith, the reader who lost his glasses. He's the last man on the planet. He finally has time to read all the books that he ever wants to read, and he breaks his glasses. Talk about, it's horrible. It's so bad. I felt so bad for that guy. Yeah, Twilight did dark really well. The irony. He had all the time in the world. No one was going to distract him. He had access to all the books ever, and he breaks his glasses. That's just like, And this is why I have 2 pairs of glasses. Because the last time that happened to me, I did break a pair of glasses. I was in the middle of a book, writing one, and my glasses were broken. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I went out and got 2 pairs. Oh, I remember that one, Cynthia. There were a few that are like, what about the one with the mask? Where they changed the face that revealed the inner qualities of the people. So when they took off the mask, they still looked like the mask. That was really creepy, that one. Think about Rod Serling wrote, directed, produced that show all by himself. So he was pretty amazing. He was also probably working himself to death because the pace that he kept, there's stories about him was just non-stop. Are we almost, oh man, we're almost at the end. Jeez, where does this time go? Yeah, Eye of the Beholder, that one, yeah. Exactly, I remember that one. If you didn't have the deformed face, if you didn't have the pig face, you were deformed, yeah. Yeah, that's what I would have done, Craig. I would have looked around for any pair of glasses at that point. I'm not gonna just resolve myself to not being able to read, especially if he has all the books that he has access to it all the time to do so. I'm looking for glasses. There have to be a optician somewhere that you can find glasses to read it. You know. Definitely, Brandy. Send it to me when you're done, for sure. I'm always a supporter of writers, not even aspiring, just writers. Once you start putting words to paper, you're a writer. Or use 2 Coke bottles or something, a magnifying glass, whatever. You're not going to despair and not be able to read. There are solutions, for sure. But it was a well-done story. And that little, Twilight Zone always had those little twists, those little ironic twists at the end that you were like, oh, it would leave you like, just thinking. There you go, Davina. You just hold the book, you just bring it up here and do that. Glenn, welcome. At least reading glasses, right? Elizabeth came back, so I think you might have left and came back, Elizabeth. Welcome back again, Elizabeth. So we're almost done. Jeez, it's time. I don't know where the time goes, guys. It goes by so fast. All right, so just to give you a quick recap, I'm not going to Vegas this year. I'm bummed about it, but it was the smartest thing to do. I know Dolly's really bummed about it too. Come, you want to show them your bum face? This is Dolly's bum face.
So sad that he's not going and he's gonna be here with me.
Yeah, she's really broken up about my not going to Vegas. Look at that. Look at the. You can see it. And the next Mob TV is going to be the 12th of November. It goes by really fast. Time goes by quick. I don't understand. Like we did this episode today, and I'm thinking the last episode was 2 weeks ago. It felt like it was yesterday. So quick recap. Requiem should be at the end of this month, if not sooner. I'll let you guys know as soon. Either I'll let you know, Dahlia will let you know, or Jeanette will let you know. Bullet Ballet, about a week and a half for the art, and then I'm diving deep into Sepia and Stormblood for the next 2 projects. And don't forget, join Patreon. There are going to be stories related to Monty and Strong in Patreon that you're not going to have access to unless you join Patreon. Sorry, that's just because they have to be short stories, and I think that's the best world to develop that way. There are other stories, but that world is really fun in there. Wow, congratulations, Jeanette. 32 years, 11th of November, so early congratulations and happy anniversary. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome for being here today and sharing with me a cup of coffee, a Catholic Latch, a cup of coffee, some great conversations, and even greater company. Thank you so much, guys. There will not be any Patreon spoilers ever. I'm sorry. I can give you the title, Peanut. That's about it. You get to figure out what it means. Yeah, Brandy, just look in the pack because the mods are all part of it already. So just look in the pack, and we'll talk there. And not cute. I don't do cute. There's no such thing as cute in my world. So next mob is the 12th of November. I want to wish you all happy Halloween if you celebrate it. All right. If you don't, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for being here today and hanging out and sharing some coffee, some tea, juice, whatever it is you drink. But more importantly is that we are able to share this time together. I can't wait till we're post-pandemic more and we can do our Peaches Con every year and I get to see all of you guys in person. That would be awesome. Oh, Dolly, can you send Brandy the link to the Skull Shaver, skullshaver.com? Dolly will send it to you, Brandy. It's an amazing... I don't get any kickbacks from them, or I'm not endorsing them in terms of I don't get paid for this. But this is the gold. Let's see if you can see it. The Pitbull Gold. I don't know if the image influenced me because it looks a little like peaches. I just thought about that right now. But it's an amazing shaver. So if you can get it because it's really amazing. I mean, I'm guessing it's not for you, Brandy, but you know. And sometimes Dolly does it. She just and shaves my head while I'm just sitting there. It's like, here, let me do this for you. And it's so fast, and you're not gonna get cut. For me, the biggest deal is that I was using razors. Sometimes I use a straight razor. Sometimes I would use, those of you who are old like me, the Gillette straight razors. I don't know if you remember these. They were double-edged. I've even used those. Those are scary. So, you know, but this so far, out of everything that I've used to shave, this has been the best, the Skull Shaver. So have a great Halloween. Please, if you're not vaccinated, stay safe, wear your mask, social distance, you know the drill. If you are vaccinated, stay safe, wear your mask, social distance. Just take care of yourself, take care of those close to you, take care of your family, and above all, be uncommon. Bye, guys.